KT7 up here. Today, I will review and showcase 140 Viga, the second servant of the Void character. As usual, we will look at his full kit in detail, and the vision card release a week after him. My top choices for equipments, Truststone's abilities, and Esper's. A few different builds, and some sample team comps. My final thoughts and a few sample matches. They have made some changes to the release schedule. FF6 rerun is moved up. My Kefka 140 video is already up, check it out if you have not already. If there are no more changes, the next unit release should be Sweetheart Miranda. I will have her 140 review up before her banner drops as well. Subscribe if you are interested to see how I built her and how she performs in auto PvP settings. Now let's go over his kit. Viga is a 100 cost lightning unit. A physical-based axe user that deals slash damage, who can also cast both re-raise and courage on himself. He has access to strike and piercing damage from his sub-jobs. He has a sure hit that can dispel re-raise. His TMR and LB can cause berserk. He is a very solid bruiser with many utilities, and very hard to take down. His main job is the Servant of the Void, ND, with Martialist and Dragoon as sub-jobs. He can equip axe, cloths, and hats. His TMR is an accessory. It only has one use, grants a 3 turns protect, and a 25% chance to inflict berserk when attacks land. The berserk chance applies to all attacks and counter-attack. This is most useful for high faith damage dealers, such as Dark Fina, Roy, and Kefka. I have listed the berserk chance from his TMR on the screen here. This is a very good item to have. The protect is very useful, plus a very disruptive ability. It can berserk your opponent from afar early in the match with a high faith long range unit such as Jaden. His base HP is at 3842, it is at a tank level. His attack is above average at 399. Agility is a bit low at 57, but he does have a support ability that can increase that. 2 spirit and very high defense at 14. He can further increase his defense with support ability. Base 3 move, 1 jump, and can increase his movement by 1 with another support skill. His attack type resistances are 10 to slash, 20 to strike, and 20 to magic. -5 to pierce and neutral to missile. We are seeing more and more units with higher innate strike resistance. This trend will continue for another few months. I wouldn't be too concerned with the -5 to pierce, he has lots of survivability in his kit. His status ailment resistances are very good for him. 50 to poison, 10 to confusion, and 50 to berserk. The poison resistance plays very well with his courage ability, as poison damage can bypass courage. Because of his berserk potential, I would suggest giving him at around 70 faith. Now his master ability. Typical 10% HP and 15% lightning attack up for lightning allies. For himself, he gets lightning attack up 15 and acquired AP up 30%. His master ability really helps him with AP management. From the 140 upgrades, he gets 15% max HP up, single target resistance up 15, and his job level 25 skill will become a sure hit. His 140 gives him even more survivability, very good. Moving on to his farmable axe. It has 15 slash attack up, and lightning attack up 30. It does not offer any unique abilities. The assault version is the best at 164 attack, the crit version is okay at 18 crit chance. But if I can only farm one, I will go with the assault. There is only one support ability from his main job. It increased Viga's attack by 24%, defense of 12, and slash penetration of 40. It is one of those all-in-one support, be sure to have this on him at all times. For the reaction ability, a counter attack up to 3 panels away. It has a 40% chance to prop. Counter all attacks and absorb 30% of the damage done. He has a buff in his sub-kit to increase this reaction's range and proc chance. But this is not his best reaction, there is a better one in his sub. Next up is Limit Burst. It is a triangular shape AoE up to range 3. Kind of like a blasting zone. It will first dispel all buffs, then deals damage large. And a 67% chance to inflict Berserk. At 70 Faith, Viga will have an 80% chance to land Berserk against 50 Faith units. And 100% chance to 97 Faith units. The Berserk chance is listed on the screen as well. It is just like King Mont's LB, Berserk can really change the outcome of a match. Now let's look at his main job buffs. Viga has a different AI buffing priority than others. I will go over it later on. The first one is a cross-shape group buff. For 3 turns increases the group's strike and magic resistance by 20 and grants re-raise to Viga. He will not run around and put this on the whole group. The AI will not reapply it for as long as re-raise is active. The second buff in his main job is a 3 times physical damage barrier. It reduces physical damage by 70%. This is his lowest priority buff. If you are running him with Resnick, you can turn this buff off. Do keep in mind, Resnick's barrier only reduces damage by 50%. Let's move over to his attacking skills. The first one is a square shape AoE up to range 5. For 3 turns increases slash penetration by 40, deals damage medium, and lower target CT small. This is his second large AoE attack skill and his main kit. The AI likes to use this skill very often. The second attacking skill is a single target attack. It is a sure hit, for 3 turns lowers target's defense by 25, then deals damage large. The damage modifier will increase by 37% each time Viga takes a hit. It can stack up to 2 hits, the maximum modifier increase is 75%. This attack is quite powerful and the AI will use this skill after he has taken damage. His third attack is his low AP skill. Single target, damage small and 25% to inflict paralyze. For his fourth attack, it is a cross-shape AoE up to range 5. It first dispels re-raise, then deals damage large, and also a sure hit. An AoE re-raise dispel is super good, it is necessary for a DPS unit in the current meta. This is his second sure hit attack in his main kit, you don't need to concern yourself with his accuracy. Moving on to his main job sub-abilities. The first one is a cross-shape AoE attack, up to range 5. Medium damage and lower target's agility by 20% for 3 turns. The other sub-ability is a self-buff. For 3 turns, increases Viga's max HP. It will also enhance his main job reaction ability's proc chance by 40%. Increase the damage and it becomes a sure hit. This is nice on paper, however it is not worth it to run his main job sub just for this buff. He will not be able to get this off in most of the fights. Now let's go over to his sub jobs. We will look at Martialist first. This is the one that I would recommend to run on him. Giving him courage and strike damage to pair with Alphonse and Lightning Alaya. The first support abilities is Martialist Lore. Increases attack 24% and defense penetration of 40. I usually run him with this support ability the most, giving him some defense penetration. The second support ability is Battlefield Mobility. Increases movement by 1 and agility up 12%. This one is also very good, but mostly map dependent. The reaction ability from Martialist is Fluidity. Reflex against incoming physical attacks. Has a 15% proc chance, this is my go-to reaction ability for him. The 2 notable active abilities from Martialist are Relentless Stance and Pierce the Heavens. Relentless Stance will restore his AP 10 and grants him courage. He can have both courage and re-raise at the same time. The ideal turn order would be, first turn walks to a teammate and casts re-raise, then courage the second turn. In order to get this exact turn order, Viga needs to be faster than the unit he is buffing, and the unit needs to have hate. If not, Viga will use courage first, then re-raise. Which is problematic, because after the courage buff he will move forward. If there is a unit lacking behind, he will walk back and put the re-raise buff on. His buff order can be a little tricky. There are situations where casting courage first is fine. Play around with it. Pierce the Heavens is a cross-shape AoE in a straight line up to range 4. Increases his defense penetration by 40 for 3 turns, then deals medium damage. The damage modifier will increase by 60 if the targets have AP regen active. I love this skill a lot. Getting more defense penetration is always helpful. And it is a strike type attack. Very good. Let's go on to his other sub-job, Dragoon. The support abilities he gets are Jump +1 and Dragoon Lore. Dragoon Lore has increased max HP by 15% and healing power up 20. This is good, but I wouldn't run this over defense penetration or agility up. For reaction ability, he gets Dragon's Blade, a range 2 counter and damage absorb. The range is too short for this to be any good. The two noteworthy abilities are Dragon's Kin and Dragon's Standard. Dragon's Kin is a 3 turns attack up and protect for Viga. Also increases the crit chance and reaction block rate up when protect is active. This buff is super good. It might be worth it to run this over Courage if you know you are going up against Sephiroth. He also gets Dragon's Standard, for 3 turns increase move and jump by 1. The Dragoon sub is situational. It does give him protect and pierce type damage. But it is hard to pick this over Martialist. Jump is good for manual, but in auto PvP, the AI is not smart enough to use jump at the right time. We are done with his full kit. Let's take a look at the Master Coral VC and Esper combo released 1 week after his banner. It is a weapon type card that supports Axe, Ninja Blade, Staff Black Mage and Staff Devout. So it supports Viga, Resnick, Rana, and Skull. The stats are HP 313, AP 20, and Attack 156. 20 AP is very good. The HP and Attack are on par with other VCs. The party abilities are Reaction Block Rate up 48, Magic Resistance 16, and Single Target Resistance of 20. The bestowed abilities are Attack up 10% and Agility up 5%. It will be great if they give Viga more slash or lightning attack as the GL buff. The Master Coral Esper is also very good. It has 20 agility, that is the highest an Esper can have so far. Also 15 strike resistance, lightning attack up and slash attack up. It is tailor-made for Viga. However, it is not the best vision card if you are running a full lightning team with Viga. Esper's card has 20 single target resistance and 35 slash penetration for lightning units. It is a better choice on a lightning team. Master Coral has single target resistance for 4 weapon groups and a 20 agility Esper. Those are the major selling points. Let's go over my choices of equipment, Espers, and Truststone abilities. His farmable axe is the best weapon for him. In the second slot, the Black Garb Shield type and the Survival Vest are my top choices. The Elf's Cloak is very good to cover for his negative pierce resistance, and the Platinum Robe for missile matchups. In the TMR slot, I typically give him an item with high agility. The ability doesn't really matter, since he is very unlikely to be able to get it off. I rarely recommend TMR weapon, but for Viga, Maraga's axe is a very good choice. Freeing up an item slot, so he can equip both the Elf's Cloak and the Survival Vest. Also, the bow tie is another option for him, especially against strike teams or when not running a tank. He is tanky enough to take more than a few hits. My two top choices for Espers are Master Coral and Dark Bahamut for maximum offensive output. The Scorpion Sentinel is nice but a bit slow. I would take Odin or Dark Odin over it. Now his Truststone abilities. On the defense side, I like the Vital set. HP and Luck Up are must. Strike resistance is a must as well. Pierce resistance is also a very good choice. The rest are meta dependent. Crit Avoid is also a very solid choice if you have leftover space. On the offense side, I like the Agility set and the Attack set. These are the Truststone abilities with the equipment showing here. Attack up and slash penetration up. Reaction block rate up and acquired AP up. These 4 are always on him. The other 2 depends on what equipment you have on him. For the Survival Vest, give him defense penetration up and strike attack up. If he has the Black Garb, give him strike attack up and critical chance up. If he has Maraga's axe, give him slash attack up and lightning attack up. Let's move on to some team comps. I have a few I run most of the time, and a couple GL only comps that are not available on JP. The first team I have prepared is my General Lightning team with Alphonse and Resnick. It is best against physical heavy opponent. Viga is on his Martialist sub, with his main job support and the Martialist lore. Fluidity for chance to reflex physical attacks. Dark Bahamut Esper. Truststones are HP and attack sets. When running with a tank, Viga is built for offense with his axe and the black garb. The tank can soak up the damage, and Resnick can get the team alive. Viga's job is to do damage. For vision cards, Viga has Dark Ifrit as main for the 25 defense penetration and Iga Ion as sub for the slash penetration. Alphonse has the lightning card for AoE resistance and Scorpion Sentinel for the attack up. On Resnick, she has the Salia vs Raches card for the 15% agility and acquired AP up. Europa as sub for some additional agility and crit damage. In this comp, Viga is at 60 slash penetration to start, and it can go up to 100 with the buff from his attack. For his defense penetration, he is at 95 at all times. The second team is my high single target resistance, anti-strike build with Resnick and Skull. His role in this build is a semi-tank. He is still on his Martialist sub and main job support ability. I switched him to the battlefield mobility for more agility and move +1. He is equipped with the bow tie for the Hate, Survival Fest, and Maraga's TMR axe. His Truststone sets are HP and agility. For this anti-strike comp, the VCs are as follow. Viga is equipped with Lightning VC as main for AoE resistance, and the Master Coral as a sub for 6 single target resistance. Resnick is still on the agility VCs. Skull is on the Halloween card for 16 single target resistance, and Magic Man-Eater. This is the only card does not support Resnick, but it's fine. For his sub, he has the Blossoms in the Dark for more Magic Man-Eater, and 10 strike resistance for the group. He has the Master Coral Esper here for the 15 strike resistance. In this build here, Viga walks in with 68 strike resistance, and single target resistance 52. With Resnick's active buffs, his single target resistance can go up to 77. And his strike resistance can go up to 88 with his re-raise buff. Viga is a true brawler in this build. The opponent needs to kill Viga and Skull 3 times each to take this team down. The last sample build is also a high strike and single target resistance build, but this time with mostly lightning VCs. I have switched Viga back to the Martialist lore support ability. He is wearing the Elf's cloak to bring his pierce resistance to a positive just in case I have to face Edward. The mage can be Skull. All 6 VCs support all the units. In this build here, Viga can get up to 72 strike resistance and 75 single target resistance. With the anti-strike build, the second DPS unit can be anyone. Viga alone will give them a very difficult time. Next up, let's look at some possibilities for Viga in Global. Esther is another great bruiser. With her in Viga, we can go with a full slashing team or 2 bruisers plus a tank. Her VC is perfect for Viga as well. It has 35 slash penetration and 20 single target resistance. With the black garb, he can get up to 95 slash penetration and 95 defense penetration without any active buffs. Or a more balanced build with the Survival Fest, only 10 less defense penetration while getting 15 more single target resistance. This build is superior in my opinion. I wish we have the Esther VC in JP, it is such a great card for lightning teams. Viga will be much more easier to use and stronger in GL. Now let's take a quick look at a few more possible teams with Viga. Lightning has so many good options for both units and VCs. I can't list them all in here. Currently my favorite lightning team to run is Viga, Alphonse, and Resnick. If you are going up against Magic, replace Alphonse with Charlotte. Or a triple DPS team with a Mage plus Lightning. As you all know, White Dress Alaya is a strike damage dealer. We can put together a semi-lightning strike team. She can deal crazy amount of damage. Hopefully her VC will have strike penetration or type chain damage increase. That will put strike team back at the top of the meta. Let's look at what some possible teammates and vision cards for the Axe group. The Axe group isn't much to look at yet. We are still a long time away unit-wise. Grifford is the unit that I am most interested in. I was hoping he would come out soon after Viga. But I am still waiting, who knows when he will arrive. However, the vision cards are arguably ready. We already have single target resistance, actually we have two with the Halloween card. And an agility card in Zoma's VC, all we need is an AoE resistance card. There are also some overlaps with Katana, Spear, and Books. So maybe we can run a mixed weapon type team soon. I have also listed some lightning units on here as well. Alaya is the new hottest unit, she is one of the top damage dealer in the game. My Alaya should be at level 115 by the time this video comes out. I will show her off soon. I will give my final thoughts before showing some sample matches. Viga is part of the Darkness and the Void banner. He will come back at least 2 more times in the next couple months. He is a high bulk DPS unit with both courage and re-raise. His damage output is on par with other lightning damage dealers. With Resnick backing him up, he is very hard to take down. With his high strike resistance, he can take on a strike team by himself. His LB and TMR can cause berserk, has multiple sure hit attacks and can dispel re-raise. As a standalone unit, he doesn't have much flaws. He definitely worth the 100 cost tag. However, the lightning element already has so many good physical damage dealers. Unless you are having trouble dealing with strike teams, Viga does not bring anything new to the table. He is not a meta-defining or a must-have unit. With that said, let's see some sample matches. The first match is my anti-strike setup against a full strike team with Ural. Purine would be too easy for a lightning team. This is Viga's re-raise buff, giving his teammate and himself 20 strike and magic resistance. His magic resistance is also very good. It's too bad that there isn't any VC support for lightning element. Any decent lightning DPS units with Viga can take on a full strike team with very little problem. Even with Ural's ability to dispel courage. Viga's second turn, the courage buff and AP restore of 10. That's my ideal buffing order. First turn re-raise, second turn courage. Lightning is within range and did very little damage to Alphonse. Viga has a third buffing turn. Gave himself a 70% physical damage reduction barrier. The strike team won't be doing too much damage to him. Less than 800 damage by Ural. 1.4k by Edward. Viga's LB and Ural reflex. Chance to inflict berserk and large damage. $1.4k damage from Alphonse. 3.6k from Ural. Viga returns the favor with Pierce the Heavens, doing 6.8k to Alphonse and 3.3k to Ural. Even if she did not get confused, Viga still have his re-raise. He took 5 hits from the other team and still standing to the end. The second match is with my all-purpose lightning team with Alphonse and Resnick, going up against the newly 140 Glaciella and Sadali. Resnick starts off with a barrier on Alphonse, then Viga goes over and casts his strike and magic resistance buff, giving himself re-raise. Sadali got an upgrade to his re-raise skill. It will now cast re-raise on both a teammate and himself, also increasing both units' single target resistance and critical evasion for 3 turns. Resnick gave Viga a physical barrier. It is a weaker barrier compared to his own, but it will do the job. Then Viga cast courage on himself and recovered 10 AP. All his buffs are now online. This is Viga's square shape AoE's slashing attack. Increase slash penetration by 40 for 3 turns, deals medium damage and lower target CT. They're grouped up nicely for Alphonse to attack. Resnick LB heal the tank and we're back to full HP. Viga then goes up and uses his sure hit, AoE Dispel Re-Raise on the whole group. Removed Jum and Sadali's Re-Raise and took them out. The downside of my General Lightning team is Viga's resistance to Pierce. But his natural high bulk plus he has courage and Re-Raise to fall back on, it's not a huge problem. The last match of the day is against the Meta Dark team. Usually you wouldn't want to bring Viga against Sephiroth. But his high resistance to magic and the magic resistance group buff makes him a great counter to mage heavy team as well. He can help Alphonse survive Raph and Fina's initial wave of attacks. Then Resnick can heal him. At that point Viga should have an opportunity to berserk the 2 mages. If the berserk lands, I likely will win that fight. The next Void character after Viga will be Dialdo. In my opinion he is a top tier tank. I have won so much with him, he got me to finish within top 10 in the last pickup season. I will have my 140 showcase video ready before his banner drops in Global. Subscribe if you want to know how I built him. Viga is a great unit. I can't call him a must-have, knowing that he will come back multiple times relatively soon. And he is in the middle of the 100 cost unit streak. If you decided to pick him up, you will have so much fun and success with him. He can cover for Alphonse and Esther's magical weakness. That concludes my Viga review video. Enjoy the rest of this match. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.